When you wake up in the morning and the light has hurt your head, the first thing you do when you get up out of bed is hit that streets a running and try to beat the man. Go get yourself some cheap sunglasses. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! I spied a little thing and I followed her around.
I'm just kidding, guys. I'll turn that down a little bit. So welcome in, everybody, to God Sent Fishing Report. I was at the Rhodey Festival this weekend, and I got myself a pair of cheap sunglasses. Either that or it's so bright in here I need shades. So anyway, welcome in, everybody. It's our Monday Night Fishing Report, and I hope that you all had a good weekend and that you did some fishing. And if you did, you probably did some catching, because I have quite a few people that called and let me know that they caught some fish. So welcome in, Curtis. And I see we got 3 other people in too. So guys, it's a celebration night. We discovered something and we perfected it. We'll get to that here in a little bit. Tonight, this is brought to you by Tradewind. Oh, wait, over here. Tradewind Charters out of Depot Bay. Guys, I can't just say enough good things about that charter service on the Catahoe. He buys baits from us, so I'm a little bit partial probably. But, also, too, when I get to go out with him, I just have such a great time. So if you guys want to go out for a good charter boat and be taken care of and go catch fish, I suggest that you call Tradewind. Cheap plug. Tradewind Bay. Tradewind Bay, Depot Bay. Get the Catahoe with Captain Redbird. You guys won't regret it. All right, so now let's get into the fishing report. Hey, guys, guess what? It's been a blowing, and it's been a little bit of raining. So, and then the weather turned cold, too. That barometer dropped. So I'm just going to say right now, if you guys, the weather clears up, those halibut are going to be hungry, those lingcod are going to be hungry, and those deep sea fish are going to be hungry. So I watched the bar reports and all the rest of that, and there just wasn't that much going on, you guys. And then I wanted you all to know, too, that the fish flayer Brenda, she's at the Newport one. Sometimes I'll have my fish at Tradewinds, and because that I need to start moving back down, I'll go in and I'll stop and see Brenda and have her flay my fish up for me. I like the way that she does it. Also, she's got some God Sent there in the raffle to give away with you guys. That is the new squid jighead, you guys. So that thing is a really good tool for catching some big deep sea fish, okay? All right, so the crabbing report, guys, I'm just going to tell you right now that ocean's just been so stirred up. Even our bay's been choppy. And I would say that they're on the egg right now. The females are. So those males are the heck out of there or dug in deep, right? So I would just drop the crabbing altogether. But that's, the negative part of the fishing report. There's still a lot to say about the good side of the fishing report. Now, guys, it is stocking season for the ODFW, the WF from Washington. All the lakes are being stocked with all of their trophy trout right now. We're talking trout, in the 1 to 2 pound range that are going to be very exciting for you and your family. What a great day of outing to go out, put some power bait on, put some God Sent beads on, throw them out, let those trout bite, let those kids catch some good-sized fish, right? Let's get them hooked for life. Show them the adventure and what it means to be outdoors and enjoy it, right? So then there's that. Now, let's get into the salmon. All right, so like I told you last weekend that those fish were all on the tributaries, right? Well, guess what? They've now started to span off and go off into the other rivers that feed those tributaries. So if you want to go out and try to get a good chance at your springer, now's a really, really good chance to do that. all the way from the Coquille all the way up. If it's a tributary and it's got feeders off of it, I recommend going to go hit those feeders right now. They're just coming in and in and in and in and in. The shad. If you guys saw the video, I went out and did the shad for the first time. Oh my God, what a blast. I'll be back to do that again. That was really fun, you guys. And when the ocean does clear up, I will definitely be, good evening, Jeff. I definitely will be out using that shad to catch my halibut and some other of those big chompy guys down there at the bottom, right, when we get into that deep water. So the big sled Dustin has that I'm gracious enough and thankful enough to get out on has all been done. The radios have all been redone, and it's time to go get slapped around because that's a big sled. And you hit a wave, and it's like this. Ow! But, you know, it is what it is. It gets us there, it gets us home, right? And I like, if you've seen some of my videos, like the one where I caught the mist rainbow, that was just a beautiful morning, you guys. So we get to experience a lot of that. The salmon in the ocean. If you know what you're doing for those Chinook and you're getting down deep enough to them, you can definitely catch them. And I'm really surprised that nobody, you know, after the other video I put up of what the Spinning Joe can do with the hoochie on the back of it, I'm surprised nobody's ordered any of those. That's a deadly weapon for salmon, you guys. So the salmon are out there in the ocean. They're still in the tributaries because they're still moving the major swing, right? But they are in the smaller rivers. If you know where to go catch them because that now's the time to do it. I heard a report from PNW the other day, guide service, and he was like, hey, listen, guys, when you get into those smaller tributaries, you want to use some eggs first, use some jigs first, and then go after your spinners, right? Because they're around. There's a couple that are aggressive, one that might be just laying around, and then there's the one that's not committed, but you get it in front of him, he'll still bite. So that's what you want to do. You want to run those baits through there first, then run your jigs through, then go out after your spin. Tonight, that's why the music and the lights and all the rest of that, because that we perfected something for you guys over this last year that has now, I am 100% convinced that this works. And I do believe that we have the hottest lure that you guys will ever use. It doesn't matter what color it is. It doesn't matter what blade. Well, it does sort of matter the blade, but not quite as much. So anyway, so I would say in the all total for the fishing report, if those oceans start laying down, guys, a lingcod grows exponentially every week, right? Because it's just chomping and eating everything. So the last time I was out on the Catahoe, we were catching ones that were right there, right? I mean, we could have kept quite a few of them, right? But we went ahead and kicked them back. And the reason why we did that is because that now, this 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks later, those lingcod are going to be absolutely perfect to eat, you guys. You're not going to catch that monster right now, but you're going to get the good table fare for your table in your home, right? So I recommend keep an eye on the ocean. I call Tradewinds and tell them, hey, listen, let me know as soon as that weather's good enough. I want to go, right? And get out there and get those links right now, because that water's still cool enough that they don't have the worms in them and all the rest of that. And you're going to catch your 3 keepers at the right size so that you can enjoy eating them for table fare. All right, so I guess that's the fishing report for tonight. Let me welcome everybody in. So I see that we have Curtis. I already did welcome you. It's good to see you, buddy. I want to get up there and go do some fishing with you. I'm going to be closing the store down here for a little bit. I'm going to be in Washington. I'm going to do some creating and go up the Columbia River. I'm going to take the whole run, right? Because I want to get on the sockeyes and all the rest of that. So I'll be kicking out quite a few videos about that. So as I go up that Columbia, I get your way. Don't worry, I'll be hollering at you. And Jeff and I had a really good talk the other day. Just such a great brother. You guys, his organization, the Sandy River chapter. I'm just, Steelhead and Salmon chapter is just an awesome thing, you guys. All right, well, that's all who I got to thank coming in, but I see that I got 6 people in. Guys, I want to say thank you for boosting up the channel. I'm going to start doing some coastal stuff for you guys, some bird stuff for you guys. So just start watching for that. Because we do a little bit more than just fishing too, right? So yeah, and I'm so happy for Automagic, you guys. What a giveaway he got. If you guys did get to see that, you need to go back and watch that video. I mean, he had stuff everywhere, right? For his 4,000 giveaway. Good job, Mr. Automagic. Okay, so guys, I think that finishes up most of the news. Oh, no, I still got to go to Google. Okay, so I go through all of the hoops with Google because on this presentation right now, I could have had up what we were making tonight and had it for you guys to purchase if you wanted to. And every hoop that I jumped through with them, so that I made the emails to them, I did the reviews, I did all the rest of it. The last function that I had to do, which was to claim my store. Okay, now I am the owner of Godsent Fishing, LLC, Lure and Beads, right? So I went in to go claim the store, and Google says, nope, somebody else owns it. So guess what, guys? That caused major problems for me, and I'll be addressing that over a period of time because that's not Google's fault. That's my fault for being nice to people. So, and I'll just leave that at that. So, but anyway, so now we're down to the fact that, we've got lots of baits. Okay, guys. And I thank you all for the support for that. I know that our baits have worked for you all. It was just like In and On the Net was out. We spent the night. We did an overnight fishing trip. We didn't want to film. We just wanted to hang out and be the guys, right? So we fished a river, and that river had fish in it. We know it did because we could see them. They just weren't biting. And then it was time for me to come home because, I get to miss my wife after a little bit, right? And I just want to go home. So I ran back, and sure enough, those guys ran up to the river that was up above it, and wham, bam, they were done, right? So what we discovered, and we've been tinkering with it for over a period of time, but we now know as a fact that it is the hottest thing out there. We've taken what they did from commercial fishing and brought it into the sport industry. And I'm really excited about it, and I'm finally going to release it. So let me explain how this works, okay? I've done this before, but I just want to educate a little bit so that you guys understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is copper. Okay, I know it looks like all different kinds of things, right? But that's copper, okay? This is lead, okay? Now, what happens when you put copper and lead together, and I'll be able to explain it the best this way. So if you're out deep sea fishing, they'll take copper tubing, right? And they'll pour the lead in it, and they'll put a hook on it, okay? And you take that and you use that as your weight, and you'll bounce it off the bottom. So the thumping could be part of it too. But for the most part, we already know what it is, and it's called electrolysis. And it rings the dinner bell for fish everywhere, okay? Because in their lateral lines, which is that line that goes down the side of the fish, that picks up the electrical pulses. Well, we've been working on putting that into a lure, okay? So talk to many of the men that have been in this business for a very long time. So we put it together, we took it out, we tested it. Oh my God. Okay, so even if that fish is not aggressive, he's still following it. So if he wasn't aggressive and he wasn't going to bite, he's still going to chase it down. So at least you know that there's a fish in the hole, right? And if you know what you're doing with the lure, if they're chasing it, if you know how to swing it like you're supposed to, you still might get him to bite. But the salmon can be funny that way, right? They'll chase and then they'll chew, right? So, that's one thing about salmon that I'll never understand. How in the world do they get away with doing this before they'll turn or go anything? They'll come up behind it, chew it. If they don't like it, they'll just go back off. And they can miss the hook almost every time. An amazing fish, you guys. Whereas the steelhead, he hears that electrolysis, says, boop, done, and it's all over, right? So what we did is that there was questions about when you put the lure on the shaft, right, which is this, okay, which is the shaft, right? So when you put the lure on the shaft, okay, is that going to be what deadens that electrolysis, right? So let me get that through there. Getting old sucks, guys. I probably should put my sunglasses on, then I can definitely see, right? Boop. Okay. So now, is this lead and this stainless going to carry that pulse? Well, we now know that, yes, it will definitely carry that pulse. And it doesn't matter if we go with a copper bead or a stainless steel bead, because that once this copper blade makes connection with any part of this, it's going to send out, which is 0.05% or thereabouts. Okay, that's what they're looking for, because that when that school of fish ball up, that's what they're putting off, or thereabouts, right? So we finally successfully created that pulse. So now we have a lure that not only flashes in the water, but it's putting off the dinner bell. Ding, 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 ding. I feel that electrical pulse coming through the water, and I now know, hey, custom lures. So we now know that we have this because that we've been out testing it, and by golly, we're catching all kinds of salmon on it. Steelhead have yet to be tried because that we weren't prepared for the steelhead yet, but I'm pretty sure they're going to have the same response. So now I want to show you that this was the other part of that we were testing, right? Because that now I want to add a hoochie to it, right? And this has been just a killer color this year, you guys. So I wanted to add a hoochie to it. So now my question was, okay, if I slide this hoochie down over the top of this, okay, is that going to then deaden this, right? Nope, doesn't matter. Anytime that copper is touching anywhere on this shaft, it's creating the electrolysis that we're looking for, you guys. So now we have a hoochie that has great movement, okay, and it's flared out, right? It's not because of the ball at the end of it. It flares the hoochie out and lets it spin and lets it move, right? So now we've got this to where this is at, okay? Now, I want to explain something about the ball buster. So when I designed this, I knew that I was going to have to put a bead at the very, very top of this, okay? So that's why there's a flat spot at the top of the lure, okay? So that bead actually can sit on there and spin smoothly, okay? It's not sitting on a point trying to spin around inside of that little tiny hole. It's not spinning around inside of that little tiny hole. So let me show you what that looks like so that you understand what I'm talking about. I'm going to go ahead and put one of the copper ones on. The problem with copper is it doesn't pick up the magnet. So with the stainless ones, I can just put this down inside of there and it'll pick it up, right? So the coppers are a little bit more difficult. But I just sort of like the looks of this one. This is the one we've been having success with. This has been a very hot lure. And I'll tell you guys, if you hang around long enough tonight or see this video later, you can go ahead and message me, because I'm not going to put it up on the website. I'm changing all that around and trying to get everything hooked up. So I'm just not going to put new stuff up on there as I'm trying to get all of the 601 baits that we sell to you guys, okay? I'm just not going to add any more right now. So this is what it looks like when that ball is sitting up on top of there. Okay, so you see how that ball now has an opportunity to spin or let the clevis spin. Okay, so then let's go ahead and put the clevis on. And then there was concerns, was the blade going to stick to that hoochie, right? Nope, not at all, because the way the ball buster works is different. Okay, so now the other question I had. So, and I've answered this question. So if I powder coat, let me grab the other one. Hang on one second, guys. I should have brought it over to begin with. Okay, so this is a powder coated blade. Okay, let me put my hand up there. And this is what most of them are going to look like, right? Or if they're candied, but they're going to be pretty thick, right? Well, because that I have the powder coating gun, I'm able to candy the blades, right? And still let the flash through. And then my belief is that that flash from that copper is huge, right? But we're still able to add the colors to it and still keep the flash. Now, let me tell you something. Last year, when I put the eyeball right here, oh my goodness, we could not keep those salmon off that. We caught more salmon on this type of candied blade because that we have the opportunity to dial in what powder we're putting on the blades, right? And it goes both sides, right? So you still haven't lost your flash from one side to the other side, okay? So now let's put the clevis on. Okay, clevis. Okay, so now this is what it looks like. Let me get her going. And this right here is creating the electrolysis that fish wants to hit, right? It's amazing to me what's happening with this lure. But that was sort of the idea that when all of us got together to design this and we all started talking about it, it was amazing to me what all the different responses were and all the rest of it. But the bottom line was getting out and testing it, okay? So I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is catching fish. And not the regular size one. It's catching the bigger ones because it's something that the other fish, they've all seen the eggs, they've all seen the beads, they've all seen the normal spinners. When you throw something at them that's a little bit different, and it's that aggressive one or the big one that's laying there that's seen everything, and that's how they got big, they're hitting these. Okay, so you can go to In and On the Net. I don't know. I don't think he filmed it, but he's put some pictures up of the big salmon that he caught, right? And that was on this lure, guys. So I'll tell you what. So tonight, I'm going to tell you this right now. I want to see how many people respond to what I have to say. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. I'm going to say, if you're on Facebook or not, if you're on YouTube, see, Auto Magic is explaining it to you. So, Brian, I was concerned because that is the connection enough. Well, I'm not concerned anymore. We nailed this to the wall, baby. And that's why the music and the celebration tonight, right? Because this thing, I kept talking about it, but I wasn't wholeheartedly about it, right? Now I'm wholeheartedly about this. So if you were paying attention to our conversations throughout amongst us and what I said, if you go into Facebook and you messenger me that you want one, I'm going to call these the hoochies. If you want one of these hoochies, you message me and then I'll explain to you what the price is, because this copper ain't cheap, guys. I'll explain to you what the price of it is and what the shipping of it is. And you can go into the site and I'll do my best to get it to you at a reasonable price. But because that this all costs so much money, it is what it is. Now, I'm going to show you. So Mustad said they were going to be done with the sidewash hook. The sidewash hook and 4-aught has caught me more salmon, more steelhead on a spinner or trolling than any other hook out there. And trust me, guys, I fish every single day for salmon, okay? When they're here, I'm on my boat. Well, not this last year, but for the 4 or 5 years before there, I fished every morning, sometimes 13 hours a day, to learn my river and learn my salmon. And I'm telling you right now, this Mustad sidewash hook is now called a Kirby hook, okay? And it still says sidewash. I guess they just sort of wanted to change the name. It's the same hook. So, and the reason why I do this on here is because when that fish comes up behind it, this has got an off lay to it, all right? So it's not straight, okay? When that fish comes up and he starts chewing on it and he goes to grab and come down, this overlap right here is going to hook his jaw, guys. And that's where I want him hooked. I don't want him hooked inside his mouth, on the side. I want this thing trailing behind it, right? So that when he comes up behind this and gets that hook, he's catching that point right there, okay? Oops. All right, guys. My battery thing just said it's dying. So anyway, guys, I wanted to show you because that there was some issues about how I tie stuff, right? So I bought the best in the business, which is the Hagens, right? This piece of machinery right here, if you can get one, is the best tire that there is. Hands down, because of the bar that's here. When you put this inside of here, there's 2 slots. When you put it inside of these slots and you finish it off and you press, it pinches the last part of this metal to the shaft. Okay, so I've never had a complaint. I've never had a complaint of my lures coming undone. Okay, so they might not be fancy at the top, but I can do a 1 looper and that 1 looper will not come undone because then it's pressured at the top. And I sort of wanted you guys to hear that. So let me pause this. I wanted you to hear what this sounds like. And let me know if you can hear it or not. So Hagens has a very simple way of doing this. You put in, and I've got to watch for my clevis so I don't crunch it, right? So you put this in, you put a bend in it, right? And then we're going to take it. We're going to take that bend from there and we're going to put it back in here. And we're simply going to make an R in it. Okay. And that's their recommended way of doing it. So I grab the bender with my hand, I pull it back. Okay. And now I know from experience that I want a 2 looper on this. So I know that if I cut this right here, just below or middle of my clevis, it's going to give me a 2 looper. Okay. Now I want you guys to hear this. So I'm going to shut up for a minute. Let's get a little bit more than 2, but that's okay. All right. So you start off light, okay? And that was the first click. You start off light, and then you press on it. You hear that? I hope that you did. Because what that's doing is that those last wraps that are on here, this last wrap, it just locked it up underneath the other one, okay? And there's a reason for that, because that when you're fighting that fish, if it's not locked up underneath there, you have a chance of this thing going plop. That's it. You're done, right? So just to let you guys know, that's why I use the Hagens, okay? And that's if you can even get them. Now, somebody made me up my game a little bit. So I am bending them back a little bit so they're straight for you guys, okay? So I consider that to be a pretty damn good loop though, okay? So, all right, let me read some of the comments. You know, okay, so DVL Customs, I'm going to say this flat straight out. This came from Curtis Schultz from Pacific Charters. He's been in the business, I would say, going on 30 years now. He makes the copper jigs, right? And he knows about the electrolysis really, really well. Now, I know about it because I commercial salmon fished, but not as much as what he does. And he's the one with his two other brothers, the Flanders, steered us right on into this, you guys. So it really was. It was a piece of engineering that took us about a year. But I'm really very, very happy about the way that it all turned out. Okay, so I'm going to read what Automagic said. When copper and lead interact in the presence of electrol, like water, moisture, or soil, they create a natural electrical voltage. The phenomenon is often referred to as galvanic corrosive. God, that's a big name. Okay, hang on. I have a headache. So anyway, guys, I'm going to say this for the finishing off for the night. Me and my wife went to the Roadie Festival in Florence. If you guys have not experienced that, there was so many different motorcycles, so many different hot rods. There was actually, which I haven't got to see for a little bit, there's actually a Midway that it was an Oregon family that's been doing it for years, right? And they had rides, they had games, the food. They had just a whole row of food. We stopped in, got some Chinese food, we got some Mexican food, we got some fair food. Guys, it was just a kick in the pants. So I recommend it next year. Look for that Roadie Festival. It pissed on us, it rained on us, and they have cheap sunglasses, you guys. Come on. It was fun. So next year, look for that Roadie Festival, everybody. And I hope that the music played well tonight. I'm really excited about these guys. So if you're interested in these, because I'm not going to put them up on the website yet, so just private message me, and I will get you some of these. And let me tell you something. I know that they work. I know they're hot. I don't think it matters the color that we put on them at this point, as long as it's carrying that electrolysis, you guys. All right, everybody. I had fun tonight. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for watching it later. Thank you for liking and subscribing to Godsend Adventures. Someday that might be important. You just never know. All right, Automagic, Jeff, Curtis, DVL Custom Lures, you guys rock. If you guys email me and want to try this lure, of course I'll take care of you guys because you just been with us there forever. And Curtis, you too. All right, everybody. Happy hooking. Listen, I'm pretty much going to shut down because I'm going up to Washington and I'm going up the Columbia River. I'll get lots of videos for you guys. So if you want orders, get them in now. The stinger bead, the acorn egg. If you guys aren't using that for your salmon, you're missing out. That's just all I got to say. All right. And the new hoochie. That new hoochie is just wicked. So you guys got to do it. I'll put it up on the website before I go. All right, everybody. Have a great night. Happy hooking to you. And we'll see you next Monday night for sure, everybody. And at 7 o'clock because it's a little bit easier for everybody. All right. Thank you for joining.